All right, so this is my presentation on impractical applications of generative AI because we're doing serious stuff, but this is me. By day, I'm very professional, principal engineer at Amazon working on Prime Video. I've been a game developer for about 10 years, worked on these things and a bunch of other games. Game developer, engine developer, worked on graphics, networking, all sorts of stuff. In my free time, I have all sorts of random things that I'm working on and exploring. That's my cat. I do, for example, Twitch streaming and live coding with people on different bots. Did a bunch of drawing and sketching. Twitter bots. I have a few. Creepy bot. You can ask me about it later, what it does. I'll present here the other bot I have. I have a Candy Crush bot that plays Candy Crush for you with computer vision, so you don't have to. I made this website for a friend. She left to San Francisco, and I'm still sad. There's a send counter you can increase in there. And I do a bit of game development because I still kind of like the game development aspect in my spare time. Work on this game with dwarves. You have a colony. You kind of try to make them survive, similar to Dwarf Fortress, Gnomoria, and all sorts of other stuff. So this is what I'm doing. So first of all, before we talk about generative AI, we need to understand it. Come on, what the heck? No one understands it. Let's talk about using it. So my first project, game engine dev. All right, so on Twitter, I used to follow a lot of game developers, engine developers, but these people don't post very often. And I kind of like their posts, so I wanted to see more of those type of posts. This is the type of problem I have in my spare time. So you can see the solution. So I downloaded about 10,000 tweets from all sorts of game developers I follow, Carmack, whatever. I set them, well, this was pretty grueling, but then I had to massage that data, so it's pretty nice. I fine-tuned GPT-3 on those tweets, and then I asked GPT-3 for new tweets. And then I keep the funny ones, which you're laughing, but that's actually was hours of my life, because honestly, GPT-3 is not that funny, but it's all right. I started with GPT-2, and then I created a service that posts those funny tweets on Twitter. It uses a very simple architecture, just a Lambda function and a database of tweets. It posts a random one, and I get to enjoy it every morning before I go to work. So this is Game Engine Dev. He's at Engine Dev on Twitter, and I'm going to read out loud a few of his tweets. This is actually the first one generated with GPT-2, because it's actually a really old bot. Like, I struggled with this question my whole life. The most important work in the world right now is figuring out how to balance learning with crunch. I totally feel that as a game developer when I worked in games. The good news about graphics is that anyone can truly become a master with some hard work. The bad news about graphics is that literally anyone can become a master with hard work. Okay, pretty philosophical, but I mean, are we not doing enough to fight man, mother nature, and the financial system? I also wondered this myself. Talking about the results are very binary, but in a positive sort of way. Either you solved the problem or you didn't. I think I did solve my first problem, so with generative AI. So this is a super good application. By the way, Game Engine Dev died May 2023. This is for Elon. Don't worry about it, kid. Yeah, because now they're charging for API. So I mean, it's a good joke, but I wouldn't pay money to see that type of stuff. Anyway, my second generative AI project, using DALL-E 2, I was kind of playing around with it. At first, I was trying to generate something for a friend's birthday. That took me a while. But if you don't know, you probably know. DALL-E is this thing, you put a prompt in there, it generates 4 pictures for me. Like Robo's Dream of Electric Ship, geometric style, and it generated this pretty cool stuff. Whoops. So this is the problem. After a while, I ran out of, so you need prompts to get good images, but then I have zero creativity after a while, and I have no more prompts. So obviously, the solution is to use GPT-3 to generate prompts that then DALL-E uses to generate pictures that I can enjoy. So this a little bit about how this works. This just uses in the prompt for GPT-3 of 5 or 6 titles which generated previously good images. And then GPT-3 kind of figures out how to generate similar things. So it doesn't even require you to fine-tune this, which, by the way, saves you money because OpenAI charges you quite a lot if you fine-tune a big instance in there. So this is quite nice. And it generated these things for me, like an old man and his cat oil painting, pretty cool stuff. The first watercolor painting. I had no input in this. My only activity here is just keeping the good prompts and adding them to a prompt list that then gets, you pick 5 random prompts from that prompt list, put in the GPT-3, then get the output and put it in DALL-E, and you get these pictures. Also this one, a cat's life acrylic painting. I really like the last one with this super chill guy. Looks exactly like my cat. So it's pretty cool. And I was thinking, what does this mean? Not this picture, but in general, like for us humans, right? Because I think we're kind of used to be special and at the center of things. And we thought, oh yeah, everything revolves around us. We thought the Earth is the center of everything. We have all the planets revolving around us, the sun. And we figure out, well, actually, not really. You're not at the center of anything, and you're not special. So we know that today. But we kind of still think, as humans, that we're a bit special in the sense that maybe there's a human thing that's unique in this universe, which is creativity or maybe imagination. But as I was playing with these things, you kind of think a little bit, even though they're primitive now, you can't say this is art, or I don't know, maybe you can. You kind of can see a glimmer of maybe we're not that special. Maybe machines can be creative later on, or maybe they can have some imagination, and maybe it's nothing unique to humans in the universe, and maybe we'll figure out that AI can actually have those human elements in addition to taking all our jobs. So thank you, AI, for making me even more depressed. And thank you all for watching my super short presentation. This is another picture which is called Cats in Conversation, generated by it. I'm on Twitter here. I have a blog post with a bit more technical details. That's Engine Dev. I'm on Instagram. I don't post anything there. Maybe I will someday if I get back into art. But that's a bit more visual.